Hello and welcome to Record Rap. It's Thursday, May 7. This week, we continue our coverage of the launch of South Pacific for Christ in Brisbane. North Pine Adventist College staff were encouraged and inspired last week after an unexpected visit from General Conference President Pastor Erton Köhler during the South Pacific for Christ launch in Brisbane. The school is located on the same grounds as Watson Park Convention Center, where church members from across the South Pacific gathered for the week-long event. Speaking during staff worship on Friday morning, Pastor Köhler thanked staff for their work in Adventist education and encouraged them to continue supporting students, families, and the wider school community through their ministry. Papua New Guinea Prime Minister James Marape attended the Sabbath program of South Pacific for Christ in Brisbane on May 2. Mr. Marape, accompanied by his wife Rachel, visited the program at Watson Park Convention Center and was welcomed on stage by South Pacific Division President Pastor Glenn Townend.
As we were coming in, he said, "I'm just a church member." I don't want too much acknowledgement, but we thought for the whole of the South Pacific Division to know that we have leaders in government who are church people, and it's just a blessing that we wanted to share with everybody live stream and here.
General Conference President Pastor Erton Köhler offered a prayer for the Prime Minister and his family, asking for wisdom and protection in his leadership. Mr. Marape said he chose to attend the gathering as part of his commitment to his faith and to strengthen his role in his own mission field.
I'm a church member and this is my church family. On Sabbath, I'm not at work in any case. So I thought it's worth spending time here, recharging my battery. God has placed us in different mission fields. I'm placed in society where other church members aren't placed in. And I have my own reach where others do not reach. So I need to come and recharge my battery too, as a church member.
The Prime Minister also reflected on the launch of South Pacific for Christ and welcomed the expansion of PNG for Christ, held in 2024, into a now division-wide movement.
It's good to see my division embracing the work for Christ. All of us deploying our talent wherever we are placed for the gospel and for Jesus. And for me, I believe Jesus is coming very soon.
Other Papua New Guinea leaders were also present, including the Minister for Higher Education, Science and Culture, Kino Kafeo, and Speaker of Parliament, Job Pomat, who attended throughout the week. After almost a week of morning worships, plenaries, workshops, evening programs, and prayer groups, the launch event of South Pacific for Christ was concluded on Saturday evening with a closing ceremony. The final session provided a time of reflection for those in attendance. General Conference President Pastor Erton Köhler delivered the final address, calling attendees to remain focused and united in mission.
Please keep your focus on the mission. If you'd like to see Jesus coming in the clouds of heaven, preach the gospel. Don't be distracted.
The ceremony concluded with church leaders collecting their torches and country representatives gathering their flags. With Pastor Townend leading the procession, they made their way out of the main tent to the music, "Jesus is Coming Again."
I feel absolutely blessed and just grateful to God that He answered our prayers, and it was better than we had anticipated. The spiritual focus, there was a lot of prayer, talking about fasting, which is kind of a new thing again in the Adventist church here. That was one, and the mission, just all the mission stories and all the practical focus and ideas and people talking about mission and believing in it. And then thirdly, out of all that came, we're so diverse in culture, but the unity, the integration, the collaboration, they were the three things.
On the final day of the event, we asked attendees how they're planning to take part in South Pacific for Christ. Here's what they had to say.
A lot of prayer. I don't think we can move forward in our Tasmanian conference or even through the Australian Union without a lot of prayer.
Planning firstly to start at my home I'd like to see my home being changed. And then I am planning that we have a community that is just next door that we would like to, as a family, we would like to establish a new church there. That's my plan.
We have started already. We've started during BNG for Christ. We kept it going. So our ministry is to the streets. We feed at the streets. We do singing ministry. We do devotions. We pray with the people on the streets. And now we are into the schools. So we are glad to be part of this SPD for Christ. It just gives us a lot more motivation, a lot more insights, and we're going to expand our ministry to those who have left the church. We want to bring them back.
I'm traveling to Tonga for the TPUM for Christ, but I think this is a question that is exciting because it means we get to go back home and share Jesus in practical ways, whether it be through life groups or whether it be through sharing, giving, but it's the practicality.
My plan is when I go back to my home country, go to help the community to know Jesus.
This August, we're launching Sydney for Christ as part of Australia for Christ, preparing for 2028, and we want to start early.
I'm excited because I work at the Pacific Adventist University, and I'd like to see students inspired and get involved in mission and on campus, and I believe that they are a channel which God will bless them and through them their community and share the love of Jesus.
Well, straight away when I go back, it's a pleasure to be here, to be part of this SPD for Christ, where we challenge my ministry, go back and start straight away preparing for New Zealand for Christ 2027.
We are already involved with 12 sites in preparation for the South Pacific for Christ, for Fiji for Christ. We are going there, visiting, door knocking, visiting the community, praying, planning, organizing. We'll be there. SPD for Christ.
SPD for Christ.
And that wraps up this week's episode of Record Rap. We'll be back next week with more news and updates from across the SPD in our regular podcast. See you then.
This is an Adventist Media podcast.